Motion passes. Thank you. We'll on to number 2, Mr. Walter.
Okay, on the 60% in the reimbursement, some of these notes, you know, it's 75% forgiven, 25% that due and payable, and the amortization schedule is based on the 25% over up to a 20-year period, and then after the first year is completed, and you have timely payments, every month there's a payment, you have the job reporting in, then we reimburse back to the business owner 60% of the principal portion of that note. And that's where you get that note being a 90-10 split, basically. That makes up the other 15% of the non-repayment. So anyways, that's how this is set up, that 60% of the principal of the 25% of the note then is reimbursed back to the business owner. Last year was very confusing because we had a number of extensions, and there was confusion on when notes started, and there was just a lot of confusion on there. So we felt that because last year was first year payment start, that it became kind of onerous on the business folks to, well, in effect, you miss a single month over the 12-month period, you lost your 60% reimbursement. So if you were late, you missed a payment, anything, and that was the case in many of these notes. There was a delay in the payment, there was a late payment. They thought the note started in April, and it started in March, and whatever. I mean, there was numerous cases there. So we felt for that first year, as long as everybody became whole, that they were paid and upfront, paid and due and payable for the year, by the end of the year, December 30th, then we would consider that first year good. And then as well, the employment numbers that need to be reported, we gave until March 1, I believe it is, that those need to be at the end of February, whatever it was, February or March, the employment numbers need to be reported. So everybody that was good and paid up for the year by the end of December, and we're getting in their employment numbers, then we will reimburse the 60%. So that's what we're asking to do. Now, going forward, we won't do that. So this year, these payments, January, February, March, they all need to be on time. Your employment numbers need to be in on time. And if you miss any one of those caveats, you jeopardize the, well,
so you're saying of their payments that they've already made, you're going to reimburse 60% of it?
That was, yeah, that's the agreement of the note. That's how that got done. Yeah, because they're only on their mortgage and interest amortization schedule is based on a 25% of the total note. You get 75% relieved. So the 25% is based anywhere from 7 to 20 years. The principal portion of that, they get reimbursed 60% of it back. And then that brings it up to that 90-10 split.
And that's for the ones that are paid up?
I'm sorry. No. This is the way this was set up.
Just 1 year?
Continues year through, and then in every 5 years there's a 20% drop down in the note until you get your first 100,000 is forgiven. So this is how this whole loan and repayment program was all set up. The only thing this is asking for is the first year of it. We're giving them a little breathing room because of all the misunderstandings and whatnot.
And then next year there's no 60% reimbursement.
There is. There will be. But to get it, you need to have your payments timely, and you need to have your job reporting done.
So that continues for the
life of the note. Yep.
Which mine was that way.
Yep. So anyways, that's how it's going.
Any questions?
Everybody pretty much understands the process now.
Yep, and there's been numerous notices out. I know there's been 2 out. I don't know if there's a third one, but there was numerous notices over last year about clarifying all of this. But again, when those notices started going out, we'd already had a number of months gone past, so some people were already. So it just felt that we would,
I'll move to approve number 2.
Second. Motion by Mr. Hansi, second by Mr. Dahl. Any more questions? clarifications? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Number 3, any comments on this, Mr. Wolter?
Yeah, it was really just a discussion that came out of the EDA meeting that have, staff gotta look into, potential for the community center, what to do with it. And can it be an incubator? So really that's what this is just, staff take time and effort to go in and see what's viable from the EDA standpoint of use of that, community center.
All right, then.
We don't, there isn't, we
No
don't have
motion here.
somebody sitting in the wings here ready to move in there or anything yet. But,
Right.
there's, there's been conversation or ideas or thoughts of who might go in there or whatever, but,
And on an
this is just to have conversation.
incubator, we have no taxes coming in.
Well, I
More
mean,
than likely not. It could be set up as a for-profit, but if the EDA or the city still owns a building,